JLockR here, welcome back to the channel. I am here with a deck profile of the deck that I played at the most recent Treasure Cup for Carta Magica. I didn't go too far, but I want to point out how fun this deck is, and it's the red-purple new starter deck 10 Law. Now, if you don't know what he does, he bottom decks a 3k powered character, but you have to minus 3 Dawn to it. But when you do that, you can also summon a 4 cost or, yeah, a 4 cost or less on board after you minus 3 Dawns. You don't have to bottom deck a character to summon it, but it's usually best for that. Now, this is like low to the ground, wide board type of deck, and the matches are quick. I'm going to be posting the matches I did play. I was 3-0 in the beginning and then fell off. I lost my back-to-back, and playing in 1,000 person tournament, going X2 is honestly not worth pursuing the rest of the tournament if you lose your matches early. So I didn't do too well in the overall sense of it, but I can see how fun this deck is, and my build that I've kind of like tweaked because my buddy kind of made a version of it, and I saw how aggressive it could be, and it could be faster than it is faster than Zoro, in my opinion. So yeah, leader. We'll get this out of the picture quick. I play a single ace. Yes, he does not have rush with this leader, but he does minus 3k on 2 characters. So if you end up being at 7 Dawn, and you already have an established board, ace could be a good way to kind of help clear that board. So you can, let's say there's 2 characters that's on board. One's rested, one's active. You can minus 3k on both of them. You can bottom deck the active one, and then the rest of the characters can kind of poke at the weekend rested one. So minus 3k on 2 characters is pretty good. Blockers, I play 4 queens. You don't get to stay 5 Dawns too often. And then the other, I see people play 4. It's cool to trash 2 cards with this new blocker law from the starter deck, but minusing 1 early on is kind of tough to do because it kind of sets you back too much. So those are my blockers. This is more just to protect yourself near the end of the game. It's not really more for the ability. Now for ramp, because you need it, we got 4 Beppos, 4 of the brothers, excuse me, Sachi and Penguin, and then also 4, I don't know how to pronounce her name, Ein, whatever you want to pronounce her name, but these 3 characters are essential to make this deck work. Seeing Sachi and Penguin early, because it gives you 2 Dawn, really does help maintain constantly playing characters and also bottom decking every turn. Beppo is good in the mid game or late game. There's no late game. It's a quick match, but the fact that he can consistently give you back a Dawn on play and while attacking, so it's pretty good on that. Ein, I usually like to play her first if I don't see Sachi and Penguin, because one, she doesn't have counter, and then you can also kind of combo playing Ein for 4 if you're at 4, get a Dawn, bottom deck like something that doesn't need to be powered down, and then summon Sachi to get 2 back. So you can go from 4 to 5, minus 3, so that's 2, plus 2, so you're back at 4. So you'll be at 6 Dawn the next turn. So it's a lot of math, but it's more about, I would say, constantly or every turn to ramp. So you play cards to minus, and then I guess I'll show the minus cards. We play 4 laws from the film set. We play 4 Otamas, 4 Gordons, and then we do play some events here. 3 round tables and a single Hydra. Now, similar kind of story here with Hydra. The only reason why I play 1, it does minus 3k power, which is good. So it combos well with Gordon and other plays to it. But just like the Walker Law minusing 1, I mainly do this to help play fix the math. So let's say if I'm at 7 Dawn, 7 Dawn, and I have a Sachi and Penguin on hand as well to summon. Sachi and Penguin cannot ramp you if you're more than 3 Dawn. So you play Hydra to minus 3, and then you minus 1 Dawn, so you're not 6. Use the leader ability, minus the 3, so now you're back at 3. So you can summon Sachi and Penguin, get +2, so you're now back at 5. So the next turn you could be at 7, and then if you have Ace on board or in hand next turn, you can play it on 7. So those are my minus. And my tech cards. You'll notice that we have 4 Gordons, so 4 Gordons, 4 Laws, 4 Eins. I do also play these 5, actually, quite a few other cards here. 2 Utas, 3 from the film pack, the Uta film pack, 3 vanilla 4-drop 6k Luffy's, and 2 3-drop Beppos from the film pack. So because I play so many film cards, I do have a searcher, even though right now this format, this deck list is for post-ban, temporary ban, OPO 4.5, right before set 5 comes out. So no Namis. We don't have cards from OPO 5 yet. So playing Buena Vista from the Shanks film starter deck. He's able to, well, one is a 2k counter, which is great. Not much searchers are 2k counters. And it searches any film card. So let's say if I'm going second in my first turn, I can search and then find, like, let's say a Gordon and play the Gordon on turn 1 going second. So I can have a Gordon on board, prep for minusing whatever is going to be played next to bottom deck, or save the Gordon on board and play like Law on 4 Dawn turn. So Buena Vista searches a lot of things. If there's not much to minus, playing the film Luffy, the 4-drop 6k, playing this on curve and bottom decking to summon one of the ramp cards is good to establish board. But this deck is basically swing face with 5s. The amount of times you say swing to leader with 5 is kind of crazy because you're not really swinging board unless they play cards like that can summon a free character. So I guess potentially like the Dofi leader, both blue and green purple. Anything that plays the film cards, the green film cards, and potentially Crocodile with the Impel Down package. Anything that summons more than like free characters, you're always swinging face. So sometimes when you're with Dawn management, if you're going first and on your 3 Dawn turn, you can play Rush Zoro. The reason why I play Uta is to I've won a couple games where I have four dawns, quite a few swings, but I just need one more extra swing to go for the game. I can hard play Uta, bring Zoro back from the trash, do the leader ability, summon him, and swing for game. Couple combos with that. Uta does bring back Beppo or Otama for 2k counter, as well as if I think only green and maybe black can KO Gordon, because most times Gordon's will be bottom decking by main event. But if he does end up being trash, you can use Uta to bring him back. So this is the deck profile. Um, yeah, starting hands. We'll talk about starting hands if anything. Uh, Seeing probably any of the ramp. Sachi is probably the first kind of ramp I want to see. Buena Vista, Gordon, Trafalgar Law, and then potentially Zoro. Or two, at least having two ramp cards. So not even Zoro. We can do even Beppo or Ein. Like any of these cards for a starting hand is great. Round table obviously will help bottom deck anything. Uh, so even like 10 drop, 12k power characters are can't escape Law's ability for this. So yeah, this is the deck profile. I'll show a couple of matches. I'll probably attach maybe one match to this video because just how fast these matches can go. I guess I'll post my first match with this deck because my audio messed up, and I'll just do a voice over it. But yeah, check out the match. All right, we are going first. Um, I lost the die roll, so I am going first, and I play Gordon. And basically just Gordon pass. Katakuri's turn. I feel like Katakuri is probably my worst matchup, but it really depends on Katakuri's triggers from life and how much counter they have in hand. So he goes for a Strusen to KO, which I'm fine with because one, I can bottom deck him and still ramp, and he pitches a card, and it's Parasparrow. One of the main reasons why I started playing this deck is because of the amount of Katakuris. My playstyle is usually max removal, swing face, which is basically this deck, but instead of removing, I'm bottom decking. So that avoids Parasparrow's effect, so they don't get to draw. So my turn two with three Dawns, I swing with leader first. He pitches, swing the Zoro, and he takes life and he triggers a Brule. So at this point, since I don't have to minus any of them, so I can do leader ability, three Dawn, all my Dawn back, bottom deck the blocker. Strusen's not a problem at this point, and I put down the brothers. Ramp up two Dawn, and I'll be at four Dawn next. So passing it to my opponent here. All right, Katakuri is at its four Dawn turn, so he's probably gonna, yep, swing seven, look at top life. He's probably swinging at the Zoro. I'm not gonna waste my hand here because this deck plays way too many cards. He does still end up playing a Parasparrow. Not gonna be a problem because I believe I have a Law in hand. So with the four Dawn, perfect amount of Dawn. So I'm gonna swing first, I believe. So always swing characters first just because of triggers. I just want to see what kind of trigger he would get from life. He doesn't get one, which is great. Swing another five. It's just being aggressive. The fact that I've already swung 5k to face four times already in this game. And I play the Law -2 on the Parasparrow. leader ability, 3 Dawn back, bottom deck the Parasparrow, and now I get to summon a card, which I might get a place. I need to play a ramp card because I'm at 1 Dawn right now, so and I don't have it. I don't remember what I had in hand here, but I think I might have another Zoro in hand, which is why I was okay going to 3 Dawn next turn. So, uh, 2 cards left in hand. He is going to probably clear the Sachi and Penguin, which is fine. I'm okay with that because I have a 5, a 6, and another 5K swing to leader. So he swings for 7, search or look at top life, bottom decks it, or bottoms the life. I let Sachi and Penguin go. He's gonna put down a blocker. So no big body to worry about. It's just a blocker. He could swing with it, but I'm just being too aggressive at this point. So I think here I'm probably just gonna be swinging. 3 Dawns I can't do much. Most of the deck is 4 cost. So Zoro and any of my minus cards like Gordon. So you trigger Shirahoshi off life. Now, I'm happy to bottom deck Shirahoshi because most Katakuri players would probably drop 8 drop next and put Shirahoshi back to life. So one, they can heal, and it looks like he's trashing a Shirahoshi from his draw. Shirahoshi and I think that was Sanji, the Sanji blocker, yeah. But yeah, usually Katakuri would drop an 8 drop Katakuri, put Shirahoshi back in life. They gain life, and they can also draw next from the trigger. So that's usually what they do. So I probably would want to bottom deck the Shirahoshi, but I don't think I do that route. I don't think I'm capable of doing that. Or I might end up going for the Sanji because blocker. So I swung 5, 5, now 6. He's pitched a 2K counter for the 5K swing. He either has to block, which he does, which is a good sign. So at this point, I play Zoro. Yep. Swing for 5 again. He didn't really expect that because now he got rid of his blocker. He's probably going to take life here. No trigger. I'm debating because I think I don't have any ramp, so I don't think it's worth doing the leader ability to put Shirahoshi at the bottom. And I don't think I have anything beneficial to play for free with the -3. So I just pass here. So I think this is where I knew I was going to win at this point because he wanted to try to clear board, but he hasn't swung at life at all. I'm low in hand, sure, but I still have 4 life. Haven't taken any life yet. That's how aggressive this deck is. Really changes the mindset of your opponent to swing for board or swing for life. And sometimes against this red purple law, sometimes you might just need to ignore these 5K swings. If you're able to counter out and you just keep swinging at life, law plays like 1, 2, or 3 cards a time, so their hand dwindles. Our hand dwindles too fast, a little too fast, because you play a card to minus, and then you bottom deck minus the Dawn, and then you summon a card. So that's at least 2. But there are times where you play a total of 3 cards per turn. So it's a lot of cards out of hand. So he's like my opponent's really deciding what to do here. So he's not even on his 10 Dawn turn. So I believe he plays the Katakuri here. So he swings for 5 at one of my characters. I just counter out with the Law. He doesn't have 7 cards in hand, so there's no point. So I thought he was going to do Shirahoshi to life, but I think he was feeling a little too pressured, and he put the 4-drop vanilla Luffy, giving me 5 life. I went from a 4 life leader to now having 5 life, which is, I think, great for me. The game is going too fast for me to gain a life, which is odd. So at this point, it's hard to tell. I don't remember. Yeah, it's 1 life left. Definitely should have, because I'm just swinging for fives. I barely attached on. I might be doing it this turn, but if you just to go for game. But attaching Dawn is kind of hard from all the combos I have to do. So I swing for 5. He counters with Pudding. Swing for another 5. Counters with Brulee. Swing another 5. So no Dawn attachment here. I'm just dwindling his hand. He takes his last life. No trigger. I, I'm I'm not afraid of losing anything on board or losing any life. So I think I want. Okay, so I go for Uta, and I bring back the Gordon back. So I do need to do something here. So I probably do play the Gordon and just have it there. Uh, Bottom decking something. I think I'm gonna do the Shirahoshi. Yeah. So like, because I was assuming he was gonna do that with his Katakuri. So if he had another Katakuri, he might have just done that to gain a life. So I chose to bottom deck that, not summon anything because I don't think I have anything left in hand. So it doesn't really matter at this point. So the way this uh, match ended, it was kind of funny. He didn't realize how many Dawn I had left, and I still had a Gordon to swing with. So I think he clears board. So it goes 5 to Zoro. Don't have anything to counter, so 8 to Law. Let it go because I can't do anything about it. And he plays the big mom to regain life. So all Dawn. This kept happening. So don't mind that. But yeah, all Dawn, tapped out, no blockers, 1 life. I have quite a few attackers. So I swing 5 with uh, Uta. He has to counter. Yep. Swing 7 with Beppo. So now I'm finally attaching Dawns because it's time to go for game. I get a rusted Dawn for swinging because I have less Dawn than my opponent. That's Beppo's ability, and I go for 7. He actually has, I think, enough counter. Yes. Yeah, I don't know why he showed me the pudding, but he ended up pitching 2 2Ks. So I think he can search this next turn. So I have no more swings. He's survived. He has 2 big bodies that at this point I don't care about because I have 4 life. There goes the audio switch again, so don't mind that. So he plays pudding, and at this point there's like really nothing else. So I didn't do the leader ability last turn, just so I can have the amount of Dawn that I'll have to go for game. So he goes for a blocker, and he ends up playing it, which is there's really no point because I can just swing. So he has 2 cards left, one being the Brulee, counting as Dawn. I think my opponent got so tunnel vision that he doesn't really see that my next turn here is basically game. I can survive everything. He can clear my board or go for life. He doesn't have enough swings for it to go for game, so he puts. I have no cards in hand, so he put an extra card. No, I do have one card in hand. So he put quite a few Dawn on Strucin, which has been there the whole time since the beginning of the game. Swings leader to Beppo, let it go, and he swings Katakuri, swings Big Mom, brings me down to 2 life now, and he summons the blocker, which there's the audio again. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I think at this point he's like, oh wait, you have how many Dawn? So I get to 2 Dawns for turn. I think I'm at 8. It's either 7 to 9 Dawn there. I'm too lazy to count that, but I have a lot of Dawn. At this point, swinging for 5, and he was like, wait, you have that many Dawn? Okay, that's it. Because he's just like, oh yeah, you got it, you got it. Because even if he blocks, he doesn't have enough to counter out my leader swing. If he doesn't block, I just bottom deck the Brûlée and still do the same amount of swing. So that's the match. It's fun. It's quick. I have complete control as long as I have all the ramp I need and the minusing I need. So thanks for watching the match. I'll post more without voiceover or commentary, and you'll just hear the conversations from the match. But because the audio was weird for this one, I decided to do a voiceover and attach it to the deck profile. So if you stuck around till the end of this video, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment. If you are playing this deck, how are you liking it? How different is it from my build? It's fun. It's really fun. All right. Thanks, guys. Peace.